All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Why racism is still an issue? Well, I'm gonna just get right to the meat of this subject. You see, I'm black, of course. Anyway, um, in America, for all the people who are non-black, racism is still an issue because, to a degree, there's no way around saying this. White people created this issue because they never wanted to stop it. See, racism could have stopped a long time ago. Racism could have stopped during slavery. Didn't stop. That was hundreds of years after slavery. Jim Crow didn't stop. Civil rights didn't stop. COINTELPRO didn't stop. Now doesn't stop. Now it's more racism is like autopilot. Like if you ever met a person who who's an asshole, and people's excuse for them being an asshole is uh, that's just how they are. You got to get used to. That's pretty much how racism comes off to us. Like everybody else thinks that's just who they are. And I'm like, nah, son, I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all. But as far as like white people go, I would say, think about it. Is there not a day? Can you think of a day in your lifetime? Now, then go back, because people always say racism is better than it's ever been. If you can't think of a day in your lifetime where you knew something racist or something in a race nature happened, and you're not even on that side of you're not on that side of the spectrum or the pendulum, then think about that. Because if it's better than it's ever been, for who? You get what I'm saying? Because that frame of reference comes from, I know how we used to do you, but we don't do you like that. Okay, well, taking for instance the last video I put up about the bullying. What if somebody walked up to you every day and punched you in the face? Every day, every morning, every day. And then it's like, oh, my hands hurt. You know what? I'm going to stop punching you. I'm going to slap you. And that person slaps you every day. And they tell you, it's not as bad as it used to be. Because the other days I was punching you. Now I'm just slapping you. This is open hand. Like, this is not that serious. So, and what happens if, the person starts punching back? This is the other side of racism. See, part of the reason racism still exists because people feel offended when you getting it back. They say what goes around comes around. People are not offended when it goes around. But when it comes around, then it's an injustice. That's a problem. And people think it's a problem because of race. More so, it's a problem because of principle. You can't go around messing up people's lives because you made up some superiority thing, and then if those people mess up your lives, that's when the balance of good and evil is just completely gone astray. You're not going to mess up the order. The order is supposed to be, we do you bad and you don't do us bad. That's not real. Sticking to the meat of the subject is, it's built in. Like, you cannot be racist or have any kind of prejudice in you You know, you may be subconsciously caught up in stereotypes. I can dig all that. But if you sit back and you take a good look, take a panoramic view of life, you will see that some of these systems that people benefit from are based on race. And I've talked about this before. Like, don't we live in a world that is not coincidental. It didn't just happen to be this way. It was molded and shaped and formed this way. It's molded, shaped, and formed to stay this way. So when people go against the status quo, that's the issue. When Marcus Garvey said, "Let's leave," think about that. If Marcus Garvey said, "Let's black people, let's go. We don't have to be here. Let's leave. Let's buy some ships and sail off into the sunset." And he tried to do that, and the ships they sold him did not work. Now, think about that. I hate your guts. I want you gone. Now that you go, I'm going to make sure this boat don't have an engine. Think about that. Think about the Black Panther saying, "You know what? I want to protect my people. No more of this brutality. We're going to handle our crime, our children, our defense. We got this. Our medical, we got this." Government comes in. "Oh, no, 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 no. You can't. You can't do that." I say these things because these are the reasons why racism still exists. The very same things, the very same freedom that we all claim to have is not free for everybody. You can't be oppressed, and you can't even feel oppressed and consider this society free. See, people don't walk around feeling oppressed that are non-black. They think they're feeling oppressed, but you have a clear reference to know if somebody's really treating you bad or not on the basis of something that's irrelevant. You get what I'm saying? There classism? Yes. But in classism, there's still racism. Is there ageism? Yes. But in ageism, there's still racism. Is there gender, genderism? Of course. But in that, there's still racism. Is it sexuality? In that, there's still racism. The problem is not that we as black people keep pointing it out. The problem is we know it's not going to change, and we're not going to be silent, that we know it's built into the fabric of this country. And we also know that a lot of people benefit from it, and they know it too. You don't insult a person's intelligence and say, "Oh." And that's why sometimes we look back at people who are non-black like, "I can see this is about to happen to you." And they still say, "No, no, 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 not me. Not going to happen to me." You don't say. What happens? Bada boom, bada bing, bam. And then it's an injustice. No. It's our day.